I grew up in love with things like pasta and doing things around the table with the family, and that brings us a lot of joy, and it's something I do with my daughter today. She's 4 years old, we mess around, she makes pasta shapes, she absolutely loves it, so it's absolutely fantastic. First of all, we're going to make some ravioli and fill that up with some fabulous Burren free range pork that we pulled the pork. We spent 4 hours making this pork. We cooked it in a balsamic kind of stock reduction. So it's absolutely beautiful. We impacted the pork with as much Italian love as we could, but without losing the essence of what pulled pork is about. Our flour comes in grades. Across Europe, they're normally done in grades, like 0, 0, 0, 1, 2 and 3. And 00 is basically the finest kind of milling it can have. So it's ultra fine. So it's perfectly suitable for pasta. I have this great blog online as well. It's called Everybody Loves an Italian, and all these recipes are on the blog, okay? So when you leave here today, you can look at them yourself and obviously give it a go. And that's what it's all about as well. I'm working on my first cookbook at the moment. And yeah, that's proving quite popular and everyone wants to see what we're doing. So I've got 3 eggs in there. I've got some truffle oil here. You can use normal olive oil. I want about 2 tablespoons in there. Truffle oil is really good. It just adds a beautiful earthy note to the pasta, which I really, really like. And I found this in Super Value. So just with a fork, go around the outside and just start working the flour towards the egg. Working that to a dough ball. Bind together. And this will take a good few minutes, okay? But it's well worth it in the end. And when you're making pasta by hand as well, you can, you use it for a number of different, obviously, shapes and designs. The first thing being your lasagna. Instead of using your dried sheets, you can use, fresh pasta, and you just roll out a good sheet of that and you're good to go. That's the whole thing. Looking at pushing it out. So you're kind of like that, in that motion, and then pulling it back, out back. It's tough going, isn't it? It is, it's hard work. Fantastic. Yeah, not bad at all. Give her a round of applause. Well done. Some pasta, like fusilli, technically you'll need a machine for, because it presses through the machine, okay, into the shape that you want. But anything you can bend, twist or fold, you can make out of a pasta sheet. So that's your linguine, tagliatelle, pappardelle, farfalle, your ravioli, and the list goes on. Tortellinis, you can make all by hand. I'm just going to chop that in half. Okay, keep half for a little bit. Now at this stage, ideally you would pop it in your fridge, wrap it tightly in cling film, stick it in the fridge for about 30 minutes just for it to firm up before rolling it. This is a live demonstration and we'll try and get away with rolling it just straight off of the cuff. Pasta's really good, it's versatile. You can freeze the dough as well. You could freeze that other half of the dough ball. You could stick it in the fridge, wrap tightly in cling film for 24 hours. With the pasta you're making out of it, you could pull it in freezer bags and freeze them as well. You can just pull out the pasta when you want to boil it. Does anyone want to have a go rolling this one? Yeah? You girls want to give it a go? Are you sure? I haven't got a spare apron. Your mama's not going to kill me, no? Are you sure? And this is what it's all about, guys, Yes, it's a bit of hard work and it's a bit of labour, but it's something you can do with your family. Alright? So, and that's the most important thing. And as I said, that's what Italian food is all about. It's having fun. She's having fun, but she's learning a skill as well. And this is a vital skill that a lot of young adults actually just don't have nowadays. They generally don't have the time for it. They lead busy lives and they don't want to sit there and cook. And this is a good thing to do with the family at the weekend. Now we can help kind of loosen this off a little bit. Give it a shake. Yeah, put a little bit more flour on there, okay? If it starts sticking, okay, you just get a little bit more flour. Give it a good coat and keep rolling away. You do a lot of baking at home, yeah? So what do you bake at home? Cakes and cupcakes and cookies, huh? You'll be up here next year. You will. Ah, fantastic. Is your dad a chef? He works in the Hotel Doolin. It's a fantastic hotel. I've heard lots of good things about them. Now we're obviously looking to get it quite thin and a little bit translucent. We're a little bit off, but not far away. You give it a little wriggle and try and loosen it off a little bit. Okay, right.
Yeah, you are.
So we're getting somewhere now. It's getting a little bit better. The light shining through that. Perfect. Right, so we've got some sheets for our ravioli here. Just makes it a bit easier than trying to go around the sheets. Trying to avoid you filling. Just line them up here. And just before putting it back into the ravioli, we poured a little bit more of the balsamic stock back onto the pork, obviously for the flavour. Funny enough, the one thing I really like about making homemade pasta is that it's not perfect. You know, it is, each one is slightly different. Now I boil this fresh pasta because it's a little bit thicker, and I put that on a heat for probably about 10 minutes. And it's in water with salt and a little bit of olive oil, okay? That just stops everything from sticking together. Yep, give it a pinch. Like so. There we are. Pinch and squeeze. There we are. Not bad. You like that? That's pretty cool. Nifty. Yeah, so, you know, that's my kind of classic pappardelle. I love that. It's fantastic. That's really, really good. Nice thick ribbons of pasta. Very versatile. Marinara sauce is quite simple. It's quite nice, quite kind of quick Italian tomato sauce to make. A famous Sicilian dessert, okay, famous world over. It's been in every Godfather movie imaginable as well. And it's basically like a Italian pastry dessert, and you're making these wonderful cannoli shells, and these are a little bit tricky to make, don't get me wrong. It's very similar to making a pasta dough, but using plain flour in there, okay? Using plain flour with addition of a little bit of sugar, some cinnamon, some cocoa powder, and you're rolling that out. And then basically what you do, you put them around, you cut them into circles using a pastry cutter. And then you'll use these, which are cannoli forms, and you can get them online. You're not really going to get them down your local shop here. And basically you'll wrap the small circle around here, bind it with a little bit of egg white, and you basically deep fry them for about a minute. Okay, and then they come out looking as gorgeous as that. So we're going to make the filling for them as well in a second. Wanting to do Italian food and wanting to do the recipes of Italian food obviously brings many challenges being here. You know, I live in Cavan and I go shopping looking for something. It's very, very frustrating. I have an idea, I want to cook something, and I literally can't cook it. It's tough going. But if you search far and wide, you will find what you're looking for. You know, I suppose when you're a chef and you work in a kitchen, you can mostly order anything that you want. You know, your supplier sources most of these objects for us. But for us, it's a little bit harder. Pasta flour you can get from Tesco's. Most places would stock it as well. They'd have it labelled as 00 grade flour or pasta flour, so you can get it from there, okay? Things like cannoli forms, you'll have to hit eBay. And these are big raviolis, you know, they're not the little ones you get in the packets. So you can make them as big and as funky as you want. One thing Italians never really do is serve a bowl of spaghetti and pour the sauce on top. It's always mixed into the pasta, you know, that's what it's there for. Lovely kind of wonderful kick to it as well, with a little bit of chili in there. It's almost like an arrabbiata, but slightly different, okay? It's absolutely lovely. So what we'll do here, we'll garnish this with a little bit of Parmesan cheese. A little bit of olive oil. Okay. Right, so there we have our first one, okay, dish made up, and that's the ravioli with the balsamic braised free-range Burren pork, which is absolutely phenomenal. So there we go. So we have our first one there, okay? We do get there eventually. You know when you're eating freshly made pasta, it's got the right kind of earthy bite to it. It's absolutely lovely. And of course that pork was sensational that we had. So that was very, very good. It's not easy. You saw me sweat making the pasta for a good 10 minutes, so it's not easy. But when you've got the pasta rolled out, it's, you know, it's lovely. It's not so bad. You should freeze it before you cook it. Yeah, you can do, yeah. And some cheese. And just another little bit of olive catch on here. Right, and here's our other one, okay? Here's our farfalle aglio limoni, okay? Which is farfalle with garlic and lemon, okay? And that's absolutely wonderful. So whoever didn't have a try of this, anyone like to come up and have a little try of this one, okay? Got some new volunteers. We still have this here as well. Pop that there. Yeah, take one of them forks, that's fine. Not a problem at all. Right, okay. Yeah, they're homemade shells, okay? In the US, you'll be able to buy them kind of pre-made, because people love them, don't get me wrong. But they are homemade. It's just making a little bit of dough, cutting your ovals and your circles out, and it's quite straightforward. They're very delicate though. They are quite delicate little thing on each side, okay? Like so. Until it's all gone, so you just start one side and go the other. It's got a little bit of salt and sugar in there, okay? It's like a pasta dough though. It's very, very different. It's almost following the same recipe for the pasta, okay? But you're, instead of olive oil, you're adding a little bit of butter in there. You kind of get a little bit crumbly first. So some people like pistachios as well, so, you know, they're very, very cool. Right, so have another cherry one. Okay, and then another apricot one. Why not? There we are. Okay, and then we'll just give that a really good romantic dusting of icing sugar. A really good dusting there. There we are. Okay, and there we have our cannolis, okay? Sorry I haven't made more. We're running low on time. There's other chefs that want to get up here too, okay? All right. There would be so much more I wish I could do. As I said, my name's Matthew Luca, okay? I'm on Twitter, Luca Food 1, on Facebook, Matthew Luca or Luca Food, okay? And please see my blog. All these recipes are there. I'm releasing a cookbook next year, so I'm working on the recipes there, okay? So yeah. That's where you can see me. I'll be doing the occasional pop-up restaurant as well. So I'm working on some unique venues for that idea, all right? So that's what I'll be working on there. Thank you very much, everyone. It's been fantastic. Thank you to the Burren Food Fayre for having me. And thank you for Burren Free Range Pork for supplying me some amazing, amazing pulled pork. Thank you very much.